Hello, everyone, and welcome again one more time in your channel, Math Made Easy. Today, I want to give a bonus session. Remember, we did like multiplication of large numbers, squaring numbers that end with five, and many of these things. Now, and we also learn, how to multiply numbers very close to 100 or 1,000 or 500 and 5,000. But today I want to give you something that well, if you already had algebra, you should know it by yourself. But I found that many students don't make the relationships. You will understand what I'm saying in a second. But even if you didn't have algebra yet, I will show it to you in a slightly different way. Now we are going to see something interesting. As I said, many of you, especially if you already had algebra, and even if you haven't, you might have seen the following. I'm going to write something for you. I'm going to say 7 times 9 equals 63. We agree on that, right? How about 3 times 5? It's 15. 9 times 11. Of course, it's 99. So what do you see here? You see that I'm multiplying two numbers that differ by 2, correct? 7 plus 2, 3 plus 2, 9 plus 2, or any other numbers. But have you seen that if I take the middle number, which is 8, and I square it, I get 64, 8 times 8, or the middle number is 4, 4 square is 16, or the one in the middle, 10, 10 square is 100. What do you see? You see that if you multiply two numbers that differ by 2, it's the same as squaring the middle number and subtracting 1 from it. Of course, in algebra, this is very easily explained, but even if you didn't have algebra, you can try it with your calculator. But when I say that, remember last time I told you that you can multiply any two numbers that end with, I'm sorry, not multiply, square any number that ends in 5, right? So suppose I want you to multiply 94. Well, 94, you can use the other method I gave you, but let's say 94 times 96. So you were going to say, okay, this is 6 away from 100, so let's subtract 6 from here, and this is 4 away, so let's subtract 4 and then multiply. It's a lot of stuff, right? But if you know that the middle number 95 square, I told you that any number that ends with 5, when you square it, the square ends with 25, and then you take the 9 and you multiply it by the next higher number, which is 10. 9 times 10 is 90. So this answer is 90, 24. So now, if a number, so if two numbers are different by 2, one of them is something and 4 and the other is something and 6, you can find it so easily by squaring the middle number and subtracting 1 from that. Okay? Now, let me see if I give you uh, something else is easy. If the two numbers, one of them ends with 9 and the other is 2 more, so it ends in 1. So for example, I tell you, what is 29 times 31? And you say, oh, I don't know. Let me give me a calculator. And then you say, oh my God, no, I remember. I'll take the middle number, which is 30, multiply it by itself. Of course, 0, you have two zeros, and 3 times 3 is 9. So 30 times 30 is 900. Take 1 away because the middle number was 30, you get 899. Hmm. So any two numbers that end one of them in 9 and the other in 1, so they differ by 2, would be easy because the middle number is a 0 and you can square a number that ends with 0 very easily. Same thing with 5. So if it's 5 or 10, it's easy. Maybe for other numbers, it's not that easy unless you know many squares. So maybe that's any Oh, like encouragement for you to start to learn squares? Because here is the trick that already those, as I said, those who are taking algebra got it. What if the difference is 4 or any even number? So here we said if the difference is 2, I take the middle number and subtract 1. So let's make the difference is 4. So instead of 7 and 9, I can make it 6 and 10. Or instead of 3 and 5, I make it 2 and 6. Or instead of 9 and 11, I make it 8 and 12. Or let's complete 93 and 97, I get 90, 21. And if it's 28 times 32, I get 896. What do you see here? You see that the middle number is still 8, right? 2 below, 2 above. But now it's 4 less than 64 instead of 1 less than 64. 4 less instead of 1 less. Where does the 1 and the 4 come from? Yes, the squares. The middle number is 8. If you increase 1 and decrease 1, you say it's the square of the middle minus 1 times 1, which is 1. If it's 2 below and 2 above, you take the middle number, square it, and then subtract 2 times 2, which is 4. If it's 3 and 3, you take the middle number, which is 900, and subtract 3 times 3, which is 9. So now you get 891, and so on and so forth. So that becomes like an easy way. If you know the square of a number, you can multiply the 1 above and 1 below, or 2 above and 2 below, or 3 above and 3 below, or how it depends on how many squares you know. If it's 9 above and 9 below, you square it and subtract 81, and so on and so forth. Of course, that trick is based on the difference of two squares in algebra, which can be easily, you will have to learn it anyway when you take algebra. I don't want to go into that because if you didn't take algebra, I don't want to make it hard on you. So that was a quick one. I hope you like it. And it's part of these bonus sessions I'll try to throw every now and then to help you with the mental math. Thanks and have a great day.